Can you imagine losing millions of dollars and a world championship title, all due to a single moment that turned out to be rigged? This is not a movie plot. It's the real-life drama that's shaking the very foundations of Formula One racing as we know it. Felipe Massa believes he was robbed of a championship title, and what's even more shocking is that he might actually have a case. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the biggest controversies to ever hit the F1 world, which has resurfaced with new revelations that could change everything. Before we slam the pedal and accelerate into this mind-blowing story, make sure you hit that like button if you enjoy diving into F1 controversies and scandals. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on any explosive updates. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for the astonishing details we've got lined up. So, you're intrigued about Felipe Massa's quest for justice, right? Well, tighten your seatbelt because the roller coaster of F1 history is taking a shocking turn. Rewind to 2008. Lewis Hamilton is soaring high as he secures his first championship, and Ferrari claims its final title to date. But lurking in the shadows is the notorious crash of Nelson Piquet Jr. at the Singapore Grand Prix, a seemingly innocent incident that later revealed its deceitful nature. But why resurface this decade-old drama now? Felipe Massa, the man who narrowly lost the championship to Hamilton, is reigniting the spark. Armed with shocking revelations from none other than Bernie Ecclestone, Massa claims he was the actual winner, snubbed due to a concealed conspiracy. Prepare to have your jaws drop, because Ecclestone, never one to shy away from controversy, claims that both he and then FIA President Max Mosley were aware of the suspicious circumstances surrounding Piquet Jr.'s crash. Yes, you heard that right. Ecclestone implies that Massa should have been the rightful champion. Massa's lawyers didn't waste a second and have initiated legal proceedings targeting a compensation amount that could easily rocket into the tens of millions. However, before you think Massa will rip the trophy from Hamilton's hands, hold your horses. Massa isn't demanding the physical title. Instead, he wants the cash he would have earned had he been crowned world champion. We're not just talking about winnings, but also lucrative sponsor bonuses and future contract values. These stakes are very high. And as for Ecclestone, suddenly his memory seems a bit foggy. Although the claim rests significantly on his revelations, he now says he can't recall the interview where he spilled the beans. Convenient, isn't it? But the plot thickens further. The Renault team, facing dire circumstances back in 2008, was allegedly ready to take desperate measures to save itself. Team members, under enormous stress due to a tanking performance and an impeding financial crisis, saw Piquet Jr.'s crash as the last-ditch effort to salvage the team's future. Fernando Alonso, the unknown benefactor of this entire scheme, had no clue that his race win was orchestrated to save jobs and keep Renault in the game. Now that's what you call a blockbuster storyline. So where does this leave us? If Massa wins this legal battle, we're not just talking about altering the outcome of one race. We're talking about a seismic shift in F1 history. But the question remains: does Massa have a legitimate shot at rewriting history, or is this just a thrilling subplot in the ongoing drama of Formula One? And what are the potential outcomes and/or consequences? Certainly, the lawsuit filed by Felipe Massa against the FIA and Formula One has the potential to create a series of ripples that could affect various aspects of the sport, from governance and transparency to contracts and historical records. Here are some of the potential outcomes to consider. 1. Historical precedence. If Massa wins the lawsuit, this could set a historical precedent that would make governing bodies and organisations more accountable for actions that have long-term effects on athletes' career and legacies. This could prompt similar lawsuits from other athletes or participants in the sport. 2. Legal scrutiny. Formula One and the FIA may come under increased legal scrutiny, compelling them to revise their rulebooks to account for instances of cheating, manipulation, or unfair practices that could alter championship results. 3. Financial repercussions. The financial burden on Formula One and the FIA could be substantial, given that Massa is seeking tens of millions of euros in lost earnings and bonuses. This might trigger a rethink in how prize money and bonuses are allocated and how such situations are handled in the future. 4. Regulatory changes. Regulatory bodies might be more stringent in investigating and acting upon any kind of cheating or scandals to avoid such lawsuits in the future. This could lead to more intensive checks and measures, thereby altering the dynamics of the sport. 5. Public relations. Depending on the outcome, there might be significant PR consequences for the FIA, Formula One, and even for Massa. A win for Massa would be a victory for justice, but could tarnish the image of Formula One and FIA, casting a shadow on their past records. On the flip side, if Massa loses, questions could be raised about whether justice was really served. 6. Effect on current athletes. This case could influence how current drivers approach their contracts, negotiate bonuses, and consider the long-term implications of incidents that occur during races. 7. Fan reaction. Public opinion may sway depending on the outcome, with fans potentially divided over the righteousness of the lawsuit. This could affect viewership or fandom loyalties, although the exact effects are hard to predict. 8. Ethical questions. A win for Massa could also open up conversations about the ethical considerations surrounding the sport, such as what constitutes fair play and what actions cross a line that should never be crossed. 9. Appeals and continued litigation. Whichever side loses will likely appeal the decision, possibly drawing out the case for years to come. This could lead to ongoing uncertainty and divide within the sport. 10. Future sponsorships. Corporate sponsors might become more cautious about their association with the sport, the teams, or the governing bodies, which could influence future funding and sponsorships. Given these various potential outcomes, the Massa lawsuit could become a watershed moment for Formula One and sports governance at large. Now it's your turn. Do you think Massa should get his due, both in cash and in historical recognition? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this gripping tale had you on the edge of your seat, do hit those like and subscribe buttons now for more riveting stories in the world of F1. Until next time, this has been F1 Racing Now, your inside track to all things F1. See you in the next one.